I remember who I am. I am Chris. I own NerdSloth. I am running through this stupid game meant to just freak people out. I have made a bad choice. Greetings and happy spooky time. My name's Chris, aka Spartacus, and this is Free to Play Friday. We are continuing our spooky treats here with Dagon. I don't know about you guys, I'm a huge fan of Lovecraft stories. Not the man himself, but the stories and the things that have spawned out of his stories, including things that, fans have made. On Free to Play Friday, we find a free game, we play it, and we usually go in pretty blind, not knowing anything about it. So let's see what this is. Dagon is a faithful, interactive adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work, focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequences, or inventory management here, and movement is limited to progressing through locations along with the plot.
I am writing this under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
Okay, so I guess we're kind of going along with the story? Oh, sweet, what do we got here? Okay. Should we be playing with this with a controller, maybe? Maybe we should grab a controller. Where's my controller? Hang on. Let me see if it's too late to turn the controller on, or if it'll... Oh, this controller's dead. It has passed on. Alright. We'll encounter interactive elements. Okay. Circle background and the author. Some of the trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus your eyes and look for the elder sign. Perfect. In this case, it's a tree branch. See no elder sign yet.
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
Okay. So I'm not in a great place.
Think from my
mentally.
slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate.
Not in a good headspace, apparently. I'm just kind of taking a peek, looking around. Doesn't really look like there's anything to really interact with.
When you have read these hastily scrawled pages, you may guess, though never fully realize, why it is that I must have forgetfulness or death.
Alright, now we can start looking around again. Alright then. There's a question mark here. Oh, there's an elder sign. Ooh. History of morphine is what we're learning. Okay, morphine became more popular after... Oh, sorry, I'm skipping around because I have really bad ADD and a little bit of dyslexia. Which you guys may have picked up in all my other videos, as I constantly start reading and then I read things wrong and then have to backtrack. Morphine entered into use in the 19th century and was routinely administered to treat severe pain during the American Civil War, 1861 to 1865, and World War I, 1914 to 1918. It was also sold without restrictions until 1914. Morphine became more popular after the invention of the hypodermic syringe around 1854. Frederick Serturner, who first isolated the substance, originally named it morphium, after Morpheus, the guy from the Matrix, associated with the red and blue pill. At the time, when Dagon was published, morphine abuse, known as soldier's disease, already posed a big problem in the United States. And still does! Very badly. Okay, yeah, that's kind of fun. Sure, why not? We'll learn along the way. Let's learn. We don't want to be ignorant.
One of the most open and least frequented Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
Oh, what's up? What's up, boat? Wait, is there any elder signs around? Okay, no.
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation. So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
This is actually like a really beautifully done game so far. Like, it looks nice, you know? Alright, I'll bite. What flag is this? The Huns. The Huns were Central Asian nomads who established a dominion in Europe and invaded the Roman Empire in the 5th century AD. They were known as brutal, deadly warriors and masters of quick raids who also developed powerful composite bows, lassos, and early siege weapons. Where's the Oxford comma? I choked on my spit. That's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. During World War I, the British used the word Hun as a synonym for Germans in order to emphasize their brutality. However, the term originated when the German Emperor Wilhelm II gave a speech to his troops on the 27th of July 1900 before they embarked to China. "You shall encounter the enemy! He will be defeated!" This is not a German accent, whatever. "No quarter shall be given. Prisoners will not be taken. Whoever falls into your hands is forfeited. Just as 1,000 years ago the Hun under their King Attila made a name for themselves, one that even today makes them seem mighty in history and legend. May the name German be affirmed by you in such a way in China that no Chinese will ever again dare to look cross-eyed at a German." 9! There we go, that's the German part. The refusal to take prisoners was a clear breach of the laws and customs of war adopted during the First Hague Convention of 1899. Maybe German is the next accent I need to learn how to do. I'll start working on that, guys. I promise. I'll start working on it.
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors.
Oh, the
5
liberals!
days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone in a small boat with water and provisions for a good length of time.
This is a bag. So we escaped
When I
off the
finally
boat.
found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings. Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator. Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
Longitude? I always thought it was longitude. Has it always been longitude and latitude? Have I been saying it wrong my whole life? Is it longitude? Crap. Do you get to look around at things? Oh. I keep hearing something out here. Is it dolphins? Is it dolphins? Hey, dolphins! Alright, we'll look at the sun.
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
Okay. But I hear you, dolphin. Alright.
But neither ship
Dang,
nor land appeared.
we gotta stop looking at it. We're gonna go blind.
I despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue.
Till I understand, I'll go blind. Uh-oh.
Its details I shall never know, for my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
Ooh, that seems unhealthy. Apparently I need to drink water. My throat keeps catching. Okay, there, it's done. We've done it. We've done it. We drank the water. This is a squid.
When at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
Ooh, undulations is a word I have never used, and I'm gonna start.
And in which my boat lay grounded some distance away. Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished.
Yeah.
For there was in the air and in the rotting soil a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core.
Understandable.
The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish and of other less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain.
Nasty
Perhaps
mud.
I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity.
I don't know what he's doing, but he's having a party all to himself underground.
There was nothing within hearing and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear.
Oh, the trilobite?
The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
Oh, here we go. The origins of Dagon. Dagon seemed to be inspired by Fishhead, a roly-poly fish, a short novel by Irvin S. Cobb about unnatural affinities between a hybrid idiot and the strange fish of an isolated lake, supernatural horror in literature, H.P. Lovecraft, and Lovecraft's dream about a strange island emerging from the ocean and him crawling in the ooze that covered its surface. Ugh. I dreamed that the whole hideous crawl, and can yet feel the ooze sucking me down. In defense of Dagon, H.P. Lovecraft. Lovecraft's interest in the topic stemmed from his aversion to fish and sea smells. In his own words, I have hated fish and feared the sea and everything connected with it since I was 2 years old. But I cannot recall what earlier experience gave me such a profound and lasting aversion to the sea and seafood. The Dweller in Darkness, Lovecraft, 1927. Donald Wandry? Something. Wand something. This is a boat! Oh, the squelching noises. Oh.
As I crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position. Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths.
It's actually not a bad theory.
So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might. Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
I don't like this. Can I use undulating? I don't like this undulating thing over there. That blob. Oh, what's up, fish?
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens.
Oh, look at this dude. He looks way cooler in the daylight.
As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time.
Okay.
That night I slept but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea and possible rescue.
That one's got LEDs. He's got red LEDs on him. Cool. Pretty cool. Alright, what do we got now? Oh, okay.
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease. The odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
This does have a VR mode, this game. That would kick ass right now. This would kick ass in VR.
All day I forged steadily westward, guided by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
I don't like that at all. Yeah, I don't like that. That's not good. What kind of meat is this? It's the color of, like, when you get those, like, frozen chickens. Like, when you get a microwave meal with a frozen chicken breast. Like, that's what they look like. That, like, fake seared look. And it's kind of zebra-ish. And then it tastes like garbage. Oh! Hey, bud. Hard times, eh? We get limbo in that thing. Alright, we'll move on, though. I don't think, anyone feels like doing the limbo right now.
That night, I encamped, and on the following day still travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
Hummock, that's a word I'm unfamiliar with as well. I also don't like these big slug tentacle thing. Are they tentacles or slug? I don't know, maybe they're tentacles. Uh-oh.
By the fourth evening, I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
Mound. Wait a minute. If I move just right, I can break the pixel. Look at that. Unless it's supposed to be something like light reflecting, but... Oh, I think it is light reflecting off something. That's odd. You guys can't completely see it when I go all the way like right here, but that's when it's brightest, but... There we go. That's pretty good. Yeah, I wonder what all that's about. What am I supposed to be looking at?
An intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface.
General surface?
Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill. I know not why my dreams were so wild that night.
You don't?
But ere the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain.
Gibbous makes me think of monkeys.
I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more.
You want some gibbon moon, some on a moon that looks like a little tiny monkey.
Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again. And in the glow of the moon, I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day.
Huh?
Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy. Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset.
Oh.
Picking up my pack, I started for the crest of the eminence.
Eminence. Yes. Yes. What am I... Oh! I gotta get my bag. Sorry.
I have said that the unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me. But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon, whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine.
Like a rhesus monkey. A lot of monkey talk today.
I felt myself on the edge of the world.
I'm on the edge of glory.
Peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night.
Oh. That's fairly eternal.
Through my terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost.
Rock on.
And of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness.
Huh.
As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined. Ledges and outcroppings of rock afforded fairly easy footholds for a descent, whilst after a drop of only a few hundred feet, the declivity became very gradual.
I'm learning all kinds of new words. Declivity is a new one too. Alright, let's do some declivity.
Urged on by an impulse which I cannot definitely analyze, I scrambled with difficulty down the rocks and stood on the gentler slope beneath.
Uh-oh. Obelisk! Obelisk!
Gazing into the Stygian deeps, when no light had yet penetrated.
That's a fun
All
one.
at once, my attention was captured by a vast and singular object on the opposite slope, which rose steeply about 100 yards ahead of me. An object that gleamed whitely in the newly bestowed rays of the ascending moon.
Just seeing if there's any elder signs around, hiding out. Guess not. Alright, let's look at this Stygian.
That it was merely a
here.
gigantic piece of stone, I soon assured myself. But I was conscious of a distinct impression that its contour and position were not altogether the work of nature. A closer scrutiny filled me with sensations I cannot express. For despite its enormous magnitude and its position in an abyss which had yawned at the bottom of the sea since the world was young, I perceived beyond a doubt that the strange object was a well-shaped monolith, whose massive bulk had known the workmanship and perhaps the worship of living and thinking creatures. Dazed and frightened, yet not without a certain thrill of the scientist's or archaeologist's delight, I examined my surroundings more closely.
Okay, now we're gonna get a thing now, aren't we? Are we gonna get a elder sign? No. Fine. We only got to look at morphine and like.
Now near the zenith, shone weirdly and vividly above the towering steeps that hemmed in the chasm.
Oh. I think there's a Queen album on it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Queen. Alright. They did a pretty good job with the water texture effects on this. It's pretty cool.
And revealed the fact that a far-flung body of water flowed at the bottom, winding out of sight in both directions, and almost lapping my feet as I stood on the slope. Across the chasm, the wavelets washed the base of the Cyclopean monolith,
Cyclopean,
on whose
that's
surface
cool
I
word.
could now trace both inscriptions and crude sculptures.
Cyclopean. Alright.
The writing was in a system of
how'd I get up so high?
hieroglyphs unknown to me, and unlike anything I'd ever seen in books. Consisting for the most part of conventionalized aquatic symbols such as fishes, eels, octopi, crustaceans,
Fishes?
mollusks, whales, and the like.
Wait a minute, fishes is not the plural of fish. I think it's just fish. I think it's just fish.
Several characters obviously represented marine things which are unknown to the modern world.
Okay.
But whose decomposing forms I had observed on the ocean-risen plain. It was the pictorial carving, however, that did most to hold me spellbound.
Aha! Finally. Ba-ba-da. Storytelling methods. Dagon contains many themes and storytelling methods that Lovecraft developed in his later works, such as telling the story through carvings at the Mountain of Madness, the Nameless City, journals and characters' notes, the Shadow Out of Time, the Haunter of the Dark, islands emerging from the ocean, the Call of Cthulhu, or fictional beings and deities based on real events and mythologies, Migo in the Whisperer of Darkness. It's also considered the origin of the popular Cthulhu mythos. Some of Lovecraft's other stories also conclude in a manner similar to Dagon, but let's skip the details in order to not spoil the ending. Rock on.
Plainly visible across the intervening water on account of their enormous size were an array of bas-reliefs whose subjects would have excited the envy of a doré.
Okay, again, I think it's bas-relief. I don't think it's bass. I say that as someone that did take some art history courses, although those were a long time ago, but I think it's just bas-relief. I don't know.
I think that these things were supposed to depict men, at least a certain sort of men.
But they might not pronounce it the same way in every country, all those things. Who am I to judge?
The creatures were shown disporting like
Americans pronounce things right anyway.
Grotto.
A grotto.
Or paying homage
grotto
at some monolithic shrine, which appeared to be under the waves as well. Of their faces and forms I dare not speak in detail.
And there's not a lot of detail.
For the mere remembrance makes me grow faint. Grotesque beyond the imagination of
here we go.
Or a bulwer.
Oh, those are sick. Sick tats. I'm just a poor fish, nobody loves me.
They were damnably human in general outline, despite webbed hands and feet, shockingly wide and flabby lips, glassy, bulging eyes, and other features less pleasant to recall. Curiously enough, they seem to have been chiseled badly out of proportion with their scenic background.
I think these are supposed to be sculptures, the way he's describing them, but the dude kept them as just, like paintings on the monolith here.
For one of the creatures was shown in the act of killing a whale, represented as but little larger than himself.
Oh. Yeah, that's not ideal, huh?
I remarked, as I say, their grotesqueness and strange size, but in a moment decided that they were merely the imaginary gods of some primitive fishing or seafaring tribe. Some tribe whose last descendant had perished eras before the first ancestor of the Piltdown or Neanderthal man was born. Awestruck at this unexpected glimpse into a past beyond the conception of the most daring anthropologist, I stood musing whilst the moon cast queer reflections on the silent channel before me. Then, suddenly, I saw it.
What did we soar? What did we soar?
With only a slight churning to mark its rise to the surface, the thing slid into view above the dark waters.
Don't slide into view. Whoa!
Like and loathsome, it darted like a stupendous monster of nightmares to the monolith.
Ooh, shit.
About which it flung its gigantic scaly arms, the while it bowed its hideous head and gave vent to certain measured sounds.
What just happened to the screen?
I think
Did you see that?
Mad then. Of my frantic ascent of the slope and cliff, and of my delirious journey back to the stranded boat, I remember little.
All we got to see of Dagon was his ass. That sucks.
I believe I sang a great deal and laughed oddly when I was unable to sing.
We are tripping. Oh.
I have indistinct recollections of a great storm sometime after I reached the boat.
I mean, at least we reached the boat.
At any rate, I know that I heard pearls of thunder and other tones which nature utters only in her wildest moods.
Man, you can barely even hear the dialogue at that point.
When I came out of the shadows, I was in a San Francisco hospital.
Oh.
Brought thither by the captain of the American ship which had picked up my boat in mid-ocean. In my delirium, I had said much, but found that my words had been given scant attention. Of any land upheaval in the Pacific, my rescuers knew nothing. Nor did I deem it necessary to insist upon a thing which I knew they could not believe.
Oh, here we go. Let's learn. The journalist. Lovecraft was a prominent figure in the world of amateur journalism. In 1915, he started publishing his own journal called The Conservative, which included political and social commentary, poetry, short stories, and literary criticism written by him and other authors. Howard was a skilled wordsmith, but he also took criticisms to heart, which resulted in his decision to step away from writing poetry and concentrate on weird fiction again, for the first time since his teenage years. Dagon, published in 1919, is one of the short stories written during that period. In this example excerpt from The Conservative, the master of horror fiction, said that weird, explains his attitude towards warfare and the idea of world peace. Why, any sane human being can believe in the possibility of universal peace is more than the conservative can fathom. Should the entire civilized world agree simultaneously to disarm, one or more nations would undoubtedly retain secret armaments, and at the proper time take advantage of their more altruistic and less astute contemporaries in a wild career of conquest against unarmed victims. No country is, or ever can be, above warfare, until the basic impulses of the human animal shall have miraculously changed. Not surprised he wrote for a thing called The Conservative, based on that. I believe in peace, friends. I believe we can have peace. Maybe that's naive, but I like to think of the best in people.
Once I sought out a celebrated ethnologist and amused him with peculiar questions regarding the ancient Philistine legend of Dagon, the fish god.
Fishy. Ah! Dagon, or Dagon, was the main deity of the Philistines, worshipped throughout the Middle East as the ancient god of fertility and crops. In Hebrew, the word Dagon? We'll say Dagon, that sounds cool. Dagon was a common noun for grain. The rulers of Akkad, Mesopotamia, chose him as the patron saint of their war conquests. He also appeared as the judge of the dead in the Assyrian poem and an underworld prison warder in one of the Babylonian texts. He is often mistakenly taken for a fish god due to the wrong interpretation of his name, as in Hebrew, the word dag means fish in H.P. Lovecraft's work. Dagon is an underwater deity ruling over the deep ones, a humanoid race with fish traits that resides in the oceans. He is worshipped by a secret cult called the Esoteric Order of Dagon. They're so esoteric. Goodness. All this esotericism. I wonder if any of these are things you would actually be able to read. Should you be able to zoom in enough? That one, My Life Before You. You can kind of read it. My Life Before You. I can remember a time when time itself seemed endless. The second hand of a clock ticking in slow motion. The hour hand barely moving at all. A dull, rhythmic monotony. Filling an empty void of nothingness. My life before you. This must be some of the poetry he wrote. Now time has turned from a trickle to a raging river, bursting its banks with every beat of your heart. Our love is swept along by the rushing cold water, each day passing into the past. Michael. Okay, so maybe not. Maybe he didn't write it. All this stuff has the name Michael on it, so I guess I'm supposed to be the writer. I am Michael! Alright, let's do what the video game has been asking us to do.
But soon perceiving
The
it was
Necronomicon!
hopelessly conventional, I did not press my inquiries.
Why is there no skin around it? I need a chainsaw. Okay, let's learn. August Derleth and the Cthulhu Mythos. August Derleth was an American writer and anthologist. He also befriended Lovecraft and published many of his works through his company, Arkham House. Although he greatly contributed to the popularization of the author's works after his death, he is surrounded by numerous controversies. One of his most questionable decisions involved introducing the good versus evil doctrine. Derleth was a devout Catholic to the Cthulhu mythos, which contrasted with Lovecraft's view of the world and his approach to cosmic horror. As a result, the author's works are often misunderstood and misrepresented in today's culture. It is also worth noting that Lovecraft was never really interested in creating a mythology, and the term Cthulhu mythos was coined by Derleth after the author left the mortal plane. Alright then. Hey. We're just kind of walking, making our way around the room, huh? Making my way downtown, walking fast.
It is at night.
Oh, here we are again.
Especially when the moon is gibbous and waning.
Ah, the gibbon.
I tried morphine.
It's morphin' time!
But the drug has given only transient surcease, and has drawn me into its clutches as a hopeless slave. So now, I am to end it all, having written a full account for the information or the contemptuous amusement of my fellow men.
Oh, there's still one more. I'm just now noticing the wallpaper is like all tentacles and stuff, with an eyeball. Fun. Lovecraft on tobacco and alcohol. Lovecraft hated tobacco, even though he used to smoke when he was 12 in order to look and feel like an adult. In his correspondence with friend Reinhard Kleiner, he claims that he quit as soon as he started wearing long pants. It's a good time to quit. He also had a very strong opinion about alcohol, as evidenced by his letter to Zela Brown dated 13th February 1928. As for the matter of drinking, I have never tasted intoxicating liquor, and never intend to, having a strong aesthetic disgust at anything which blunts or coarsens the delicate natural equipoise. That is a word I don't know. Equipoise of the evolved human intellect and imagination. Drinking excited my personal repugnance. Hence I don't drink. Let the herd do what they will, bunch of sheeple. I am rather in favor of prohibition. The prohibition of any one antisocial force, as well as of any other. Source: The Spirit of Revision, Lovecraft's Letters to Zayla Brown, Reed Bishop, H.P. Lovecraft, Sean Branney, and Andrew Lehman, S.T. Joshi. Bloop.
Often,
Go.
I ask myself if it could not all have been a pure phantasm. A mere freak of fever as I lay sun-stricken and raving in the open boat after my escape from the German man-of-war. This I ask myself, but ever does there come before me a hideously vivid vision in reply.
The big sun. Oh, only if I look up.
I cannot think of the deep sea without shuddering at the nameless things that may at this very moment be crawling and floundering on its slimy bed.
It looks like a toy boat.
Worshipping their ancient stone idols and carving their own detestable likenesses on submarine obelisks of water-soaked granite.
Godzilla.
I dream of a day when they may rise above the billows to drag down into their reeking talons the remnants of puny, war-exhausted mankind. Of a day when the land shall sink and the dark ocean shall ascend amidst universal pandemonium.
Oh shit! Cool. I like that. That's pretty BA. Whee!
The end is near.
Uh-oh. Who's squishing at my door? That's not good.
I hear a noise at the door, as of some immense slippery body lumbering against it.
Is there any other shit around I should look at before we... Okay.
It shall not find me.
Well, I think it did anyway.
God, that hand!
Oh, it's the creature from the Black Lagoon!
The window! The window!
But I kind of want to see him. Show me your gross fingers. Salad fingers? Okay. Whee! Well, pretty sure I'm dead. I'm dead. That was cool! I liked it! That's a really fun way to do a Lovecraft story. Get to experience it. Man, that would be fun to do it in VR. I wish I had a VR thing. But yeah, that's cool, man. I like that a lot. Hey, if I'm gonna rate this thing, let's rate it real quick. I'm gonna rate it the playability from 0 to 5. You don't really do much of anything except click every once in a while, move around, and I mean, the only point to move around is, you know, to see things. So as far as playability, I'll say this much: they added in extra bits to give you more to do. So they had that in mind. I'll give it a 2 on playability. On does it play? I said it wrong. Does it fun? I I really enjoy Lovecraft stuff. The atmosphere was great. They did a great job with that. I think they really built up some cool stuff. I think that a few things could have been handled a little bit better. Like there could have been a little bit better polishing in a few areas, but otherwise I think this was a pretty cool experience. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5 for does it fun. So overall, if you add it all together, a 5 out of 10. So not bad, not bad. This is Dagon. It's free on Steam, so you can grab it. There's no excuse not to. And if you have VR, let me know in the comments how this is on VR. I would love to know. And if you're a fan of Dagon or any other Lovecraft stuff, let me know if you enjoyed this. If you'd like to see more Lovecraft stories turned into things like this. I mean, obviously there's you know, the Call of Cthulhu game came out, which is a lot of fun. Rochelle and I streamed that a couple times over on the NerdSloth Twitch channel and had a good time playing that. So yeah, I'd like to see more stuff like this though in short form, but maybe with a little bit more stuff to do. It doesn't have to be free. I'd pay for things like this. Anyway, all right, we're on to game number 2 right now. This is going to be the free version of the Backrooms, which I'm worried about this part. Check the watch every 30 seconds. Get as far as possible. Don't look at it. I'm worried about this one. I am not. Oh God. I'm not happy about this. Yearning for old moist carpets? I have heard things. Oh boy. Okay. Can I use... Okay, so I can use this. Okay. We'll just walk, and we don't want to look at it. This is gonna be... Oh, that's not what I meant to hit. Oh, crap. Okay. I need to... Going forward. And I need to not look at it. Oh, I need to... Alright, I hit the button to remember. Okay. I'm really not sure what all to expect. I've seen a lot of people play this. And like everyone's experiences seem to be very different. Now, hang on a minute. I thought I saw something weird. Okay. Hitting that button to remember myself. I don't want to go that way. Oh yeah, I hit it. I heard a noise to the right somewhere, and I didn't like that. It said to go as far as you can, but it doesn't really seem like there's like a necessarily like a distance you gotta go. Like you... I think... Like, there's not like an end point, I don't think. I think it's just how many meters you can travel. Oh, shoot. Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. Why is it... Okay. Doing okay. Every once in a while when I hit tab, instead of the right thing coming up, info on my Steam is coming up. And that's bugging me. Instead of like my watch, it's like my Steam information. But I figure I just did the Dagon thing. We'll get a good scare in here. Unless I make it all the way through. I don't know that there's any rhyme or reason to what I'm doing right now. I don't like this knocking noise. Oh. There's, I don't know what the noise indicates, and I hear a little bit of music that I wasn't hearing before. Oh, God. Oh. That sounds terrifying, whatever that was. I don't know what the monster is. God dang it. I got the stupid Steam info happened to me again. This is gonna be bad. I should have put batteries back on my controller. Oh, man. Oh, I think I heard something. No! Okay, I think what's happening is when I'm hitting shift at the same time. No, no, why are you moving backwards? Stop it. It's when I'm hitting shift and tab at the same time, so I gotta let go of shift. Why is the carpet moving by itself? Oh, the walls are papers moving too. Oh. Oh, I don't like that. Oh, this sucks. Well, I don't like any of this. Piece of pie. Do I want this? Yeah. Yeah, I do want this pie. What does the pie do for me? Oh! I had delicious pie. And the pie has me terrified now that maybe pie isn't as good for me as I thought it would be. Oh! There was something over there. Did you see that shit? No, fuck that. I hear it. Fuck! No. No. I hear crying. Oh. The thing sounds semi-far away right now. Whatever. This is no good. Oh, come on. No! Oh. Come on. I remember who I am. I am Chris. I own NerdSloth. I am running through this stupid game meant to just freak people out. I've made a bad choice. I've made a very bad decision. It sounds like somebody is breathing behind me. There's red lights appearing. That has me pretty bummed out. Oh. A lot of lights keep breaking. That sucks. Oh, come on with this. Oh. Nope. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I would like to go a different way, please. No, I did it again. Dang, 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 hit with the wrong buttons I'm hitting. Oh. Oh, something's getting really loud. Oh, shoot. If there is something chasing me, it is definitely catching up. I thought maybe it was ahead of me, and it was like above me. Now I'm starting to think it is like directly behind me. Oh, it's right there, it's right there. Oh no, it's here. I looked at it. Oh, this is bad, this is bad. Oh, poopy face. Oh my God. No! No clipping beneath the back rooms. What happened? Did I survive? What happened? Does that mean I lived? Did I? Okay. Did I do a good thing? What happened? Okay. Okay. Let's just call that as a win. Let's call it as a win. I didn't see anything that looked like it murdered me. I eventually just fell through a floor and away from whatever was hunting me down. That was terrifying. That was so scary. Okay. I'm gonna rate this thing real quick. That was an experience. 0 to 5. Does it play? It definitely plays. It's got a lot of interesting mechanics to it. Though because of how it was functioning, it wasn't that great on the keyboard without me messing up. So I think if I were using a controller, if it's controller compatible, that's the way to go. But because it kept causing me problems with the shift and the tab at the same time, I gotta dock it a point for that at least. So I'm gonna give it, does it play? I'm gonna give it a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4. Does it fun? I think I'll give it a... I'm trying to think about it from this point. It was spooky. There could have been more scary things to it, but it did build a long sense of spook and scare. I just wish that I had a sense of what I actually did at the end there. I think that would have made it more fun. Like if I had a sense of, did I do something wrong or did I do something right? The game just seemed to kind of end. So I think I'm gonna give it a 3 for did it fun. So total 7 out of 10. Not bad, not bad. That was pretty cool. It was a cool experience. I understand why this is a really popular game right now, and I'd be interested to try the full version of it, see what's different. And I know there's a lot of clones of this out there that add in tons of other stuff that I'd be really interested in. But yeah, it's spooky. It's spooky, guys. If you did like this video, let me know in the comments below. If you've played this, what's been your experience? What happened to me at the end is what I really want to know. So please comment on that. If you did like this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your Friday, because if you don't, I'm gonna pray to the ancient fish god Dagon and have him trap you in some back rooms where he chases you until you inevitably, I don't know, disappear through a floor. All right, bye.